In this video, I'm going to talk about the healing process of the soul. So, let me ask you a question. Let's say you're just living your life and somebody comes across to you and says, or let's say you're just going through life and you end up getting a random cancer check. You've never thought that you might have cancer. The doctor's like, hey, once in a while in your life, you might want to get it at this age for whatever reason, blah, blah, blah. So you're like, fine, I'll do it. I have nothing to lose. Let's do it. So you go into the whatever it is, the equipment room. They scan you for the cancer and they find out, holy crap, you have brain cancer. What at that point do you feel? Not only do they say you have brain cancer, but they say you might die in 2 months. So what I'm trying to say is that it's the same thing with spiritual wounds. It's possible to have many wounds and twists and turns and shatters in your soul and stretches in your soul and holes in your soul and all this stuff, because that's what the soul is. It's like a field of consciousness, and it has emotions associated with that field and stuff like that, and thoughts and imaginations and stuff like that. So if you don't know you have a wound, you're going to feel just fine. Just like the guy who found out that he has cancer. He's going about his life. He would have never known. He never started worrying. So what's the first initial reaction that your soul itself has, your intellect, your soul, your inner being that thinks, feels? What does it think when it finds out it has a wound? When an experience kind of leads you to it, that's how nature does. It guides us to our wounds. That's how the soul looks in all ways to heal itself. So you find out there's a wound, and you get freaked out. This is the initial step. Sometimes people don't even consciously realize it, but their own soul starts freaking out. This is why a lot of people have a lot of so-called irrational fears or anxiety out of nowhere. Because somewhere deep in their soul, which is a real entity that you are, discovered that it has a wound. And this wound could be an emotional wound, it could be a psychological, it could be confusion, it could be any kind of just inner pain that isn't apparent in the body. And so the person freaks out at first, but then he starts feeling a lot of pain. Now the pain is part of the healing process. Feel it to heal it. So sometimes in order to heal a spiritual wound, we need to find it. And then you need to start feeling pain. Now, if you already know where the wound is, it hurts. It's going to keep hurting until it heals, just like a physical wound. Either way, when you find out about your wound and then you heal it, or you start healing it, that can really be painful, because first you're scared or afraid. You're actually more like shocked. You're surprised that you found out you have a wound. And after that, you're like, okay, now it's starting to hurt. The wound is starting to hurt a little bit. Because you were just going by your business before you discovered the spiritual wound. It's like one day you're fine, next day you're like, wow, I kind of feel a little spiritual anxiety or something. I don't know. Because your soul found a wound in itself. And so it freaked out, it got surprised, it got shocked, you could say. And then it starts hurting because it's feel it to heal it, and to feel something that hurts, a wound kind of hurts, because you weren't aware of the wound before, but now you are. So that's shock plus the pain can really cause confusion and anxiety, and give you the sensation that you're suffering needlessly, that you're suffering in vain, that you're suffering for no reason. But this is never the case. Always when we suffer spiritually, it's always for a good reason. It's to heal our soul and to correct our soul. Because somewhere in your past you came across, or you did something, or you came through a situation that caused this wound in you. Maybe you were unaware, you were not vigilant, maybe you had a sin done, maybe something happened. You received a wound from it. Now you found it, and now you're healing it. Or you know where it is, and you're healing it. Okay. So recognize that the wound is not in vain. A lot of the time when we're healing, it feels bad. Think about it if it was just like a physical wound. If you got a wound that hurts, It wouldn't just, you can't just snap your finger and have it go away. It's, why would it be any different with spirituality? You know, process those chaotic energies and release them. And they'll go on their own where they need to go once they've been processed through you and that pain has been felt and kind of transmuted. It's been processed, basically. And that's the healing process of the soul. So first you have to locate the wound, or you have to be aware of where the wound is. You start feeling it, and your soul starts giving attention to it, and eventually it heals, and that's it. No more pain. Now, what are some quick tips that before I end this video, of ways that the soul can get more in touch with itself? Because if you ever feel like you don't have a lot of energy, like you're fatigued or you're tired all the time, a lot of the time, or you feel like you're not at your top energy level, or if you feel a little bit of anxiety or depression, but you know that you suspect that there's more, you're just not able to channel it and locate it and start feeling all those wounds, what can you do? Well, there's lots of things you could do. You could, I'm sure there's kind of healers and people you can go to that can help you find these wounds, but what you can practically do at home is just sit with yourself a lot, spend time with yourself, and start going within, start really feeling how you're feeling. Your soul is always looking to heal itself. You don't need to find a healer to help you locate a wound. It's going to come on its own. Sometimes healers help you find your wounds faster and show you where your wounds are, how they treat you, they remind you of things that happen, and so on and so forth. But if you're just on your own, you can just meditate. You don't have to close your eyes. You can close your eyes if you want to, and just feel your wounds. Look through your body, look through your consciousness, and see where those scrapes and bruises are. And anything that's twisted and all over the place and not ordered. Because it's just chaos. It's chaos energies that are causing these results in you. So meditate with yourself and do the most literal definition of introspection. Go within your soul and introspect yourself. And always face your problems. Never turn away from them or run away from them. Always face the wounds and feel them to heal them, is what I would say. That's about all I have for this video. This was the healing process of the soul.